health is physical wealth.
Hello, hello, hello. Today is November 27, 2023. Just wanted to say happy birthday, Eddie. It was his birthday yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get online, but happy birthday again. I know this is your love language, so I'm just gonna shout you out all over the world, all over social media, via YouTube, because that's your love language. So just wanted to make sure I did that. This is the Adroit Living session of the Erudition Network. Here, I like to volunteer this time to interact online free of charge to provide a holistic guided perspective towards mental health and physical wealth by linking subjective and objective perspectives via science and faith to aid well-rounded knowledge and positive mental health. You see, science is the method humans use to tangibly make sense of things. And faith is the innate part of humanity that compels people to discern, be creative, compassionate, and spontaneously behave as we do. The subjective perspective is opinion based. And the objective perspective is based upon facts and factors of facts, such as faith in God and the factual evidence thereof. One of the main points of the Adroit Living interactive live stream has always been to show how mental health is physical wealth, and each episode is a different contribution towards such effort. I appreciate your feedback and comments, but most importantly, I appreciate your attention to my unique approach of mental health being physical wealth. It can be extremely difficult to help people with mental health, but pray God give it to you, because God fills the gaps. Sometimes topics can be a little tricky. Current events topics can be a little tricky. So I encourage everyone to watch until the end. I'll also challenge viewers to watch each episode at least 3 times and have a different perspective each time to assist with mental health, critical thinking skills, memory, and understanding what was said in the videos, to challenge people mentally and to have a more healthy mental perspective. Today's topic is global formal organizational language. The last video, I spoke a lot about formal language, and I tried to show a bit of a history of how people are using or not using formal language because of formal logic. So scrap the formal language. I did talk about how they use formal language as a conditioning method to kind of substitute formal logic, if that's a good way to put it. I really hate being on camera. So bear with me. I'm using this to try to get accustomed to being on camera, because while I've been on camera and in front of audiences, I'm still very uncomfortable with it. So I'm trying to get better with that as I present information that you may be interested in. Anyway, in the previous episode, I explained, and in even the first episode that I presented, I stated that people are conditioned towards a particular method of thinking and solving problems. So critical thinking skills are being created, are being formed, but it's contrived to a particular purpose. And in that, we're seeing a great deal of people struggling with their mental health and well-being. And I use these videos to show that mental health is physical wealth, so that people will understand that this is a worthwhile investment to invest in people's mental health. This topic of helping people to understand how to implement their formal logic, as well as work in or weave in some of the formal language and the formal education, is vital towards creative innovation and improvements. I don't think anyone ever gets completely used to being on camera. I don't know. Some people are just, they call hams. They love it. They just want to be in front of the camera. And I'm like, oh my God, you can have it. But anyway, I tried to hurry up as fast as I can. My new schedule doesn't really permit me time to get on and do these videos. So I try hard to get on, but sometimes I get here too late and I'm too disheveled to get on. So you're going to have to overlook my hair. It's been a whole day. Okay. Anyway, we just had Thanksgiving, and on my social media Facebook page, that's all I had time for. Um, I did mention what I'm grateful for. So if you want an itemized list or you want to go through that, you can go ahead and look. But I have a lot to be grateful for. A lot of people have been extremely supportive. And I really want to give a shout out to a lot of my clients. I do see that some people do get on and look. So you may want to see, oh, is she giving us a shout out? On social media, on Facebook, I do shout out even clients and friends and colleagues and family members, of course, everyone who contributes to everything that's positive about my life that I'm grateful for. So if you want to know who that thankfulness um, statement was about, yes, it's about you. So I just want to again mention that I am thankful. I really appreciate everyone and all the contributions, especially as I continue to try to, do this whole social media thing. Yeah, so it's like trying to do social media is like still a big trip for me, like mental trip and trying to work through this thing. But anyway, um, let me see. I think I did say. Um, some people, how they. Okay, so I put the stuff on social media and I was like, maybe I should say it on YouTube. So, how some people are like, is she talking about me or is she not talking about me? Yeah. So I stated in the social media post to the family I was born in. I'm thankful for the foundation of love, the guidance to gain and exercise wisdom, and the support to continuously improve. To the families I was adopted into, I am thankful for your love and support, which filled in the gaps between my acceptance and implementation of faith and works. Despite challenges to hinder and prevent my positive contributions to society and my continued personal growth and development, they've been essential in filling those gaps. So I had to shout them out. And to my friends, colleagues, and social media followers, I am thankful to continually learn how we can keep being helpers one to another, despite our differences and physical distance, which are just a few challenges we've mastered over the years. As a whole, you all have collectively nourished my whole man, inspired me to press on despite all, and figure out problems to promote one love, life, and favor to you, all of you. I love all of y'all. So happy Thanksgiving. I'll do another one for Christmas to say again, thank you to everyone who has been a big contribution. I think a lot of the things that my late father said is starting to like hit me. And now I'm starting to like think about what he said and try to apply it. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there. A lot of people for like Thanksgiving, they're always rushing to eat all of the different types of foods. And it's like a smorgasbord of everything you could ever imagine that you want to eat, and then everyone's cooking their own the foods that are there in their heritage for them to enjoy on that Thanksgiving day. So people go around testing different, it's like a potluck at work, only you don't have to go from office to office. You go from house to house and you have different friends and family members now because blended families, and everyone's trying out all of these different foods, which is great. And that's really awesome that that's a good opportunity, even if you do not celebrate what may be considered paganism or holidays that, the government recognizes it as time for you to relax and reconnect with your loved ones, families, and friends. So that's what I considered it. I don't consider it as a pagan or anything like that. I just look at it as the government is giving us this freedom so we can say, hey, let me just, go see what everybody's doing, in real life. Virtually is great. We're doing a whole lot of things virtually, but let's see what you're doing in real life. Let me, visit with you for a moment and see how you're doing. And that's the way I figure it. But, nobody really wants to talk about what happens when you eat all of that food. What's happening when you eat all that food is it's got to come out. Everything that goes in got to come out at some point. And these people, they try to leave your house. Sometimes they don't make their way out of the house fully, and they go to the bathroom and blow it out like, don't nobody go in there for 45 minutes to an hour. Like, no. Son said to someone say Christmas. I know, right? A lot of times people do the same thing for Christmas. They're eating all this food, and then, they can't quite make it out your door before they go to the bathroom. And they go in there and they drop a bomb like, and then you're looking like, what in the world happened? I said, well, I've been holding it for an hour. An hour smells more like you've been holding that since birth. You need to check you and see if you human. Call Area 51 and see if they missing somebody, because something's not right. All that food, it's like it's impossible that came out of a person. There is no way that your bathroom should not have a candle in there from like the month of what is it, November to like February. Keep the candles in the bathroom and a lighter, a working lighter, because somebody's gonna need it. I'm just saying, if you feel like you can't make it out of somebody's house, bring your own candle and a lighter. That's all, because that's the only thing that's gonna cure whatever's gonna come out of you from eating all those different types of foods. But it's great to have those that variety. But anyway, I noticed that I'm just doing a little icebreakers, trying to wait for people to get in, because I know I've been missing some time. I have not been able to get on. I've been really busy, and I am very sorry. But I do tell you, watch the videos, because it's going to come a time where I can't come on. I can't. Food. Some people love language. Yeah, it is some people's love language. And a lot of times this is the perfect time of the year, towards the end of the year, where you're showing people that, that made it this long, that you are happy to see them. Come on by, eat some of this good food, get some of this good loving. It is tasty, and you're going to go away full. You're going to take a plate or two with you, and you're going to share it. So yeah, sometimes food is, cooking is someone else's love language. Hi, Eric. How you doing? Happy to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so, hey, my brother, I hope you did enjoy your Thanksgiving. I didn't hear from you. I'm just saying. I'm not I'm not mad. You might have been busy, might have been enjoying your time, but, chime in. All right, bro. Anyway, so I wanted to talk today about global formal organizational language, because a lot of times we're seeing people are mentally confused and frustrated with the confusion, because the language, they're noticing, if they jump from one career to another, they're noticing that the problem was not the career. The problem was not the manager. The problem was not the assistant manager or beyond that level. The problem is something else. And that is what is intended to understand today. The problem is a global formal organizational language where people have these sets of broken systems, which is something that I've mentioned in previous episodes. So please go back and watch so you can have full clarity. What'd you say? Guess I'll just walk in during holidays where people play for. I know, right? But that's one way to look at it. If people going to share their love and that's their love language, but you have to be very careful, because if you eat something and it messes your stomach up to the point where it's coming out all ends all at the same time, and you feel like you just gonna die, just go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. Let them help you out, because you don't know, everybody can't cook. And some of these, what is it? Twitter, TikTok. Some of these videos are going out where people are making these types of meals in supposedly a conventional way, and it's not working out. And I'm like, who's eating that? Who is eating that? You're going to see, because they're going to be in the hospital talking about they can't stop it coming out of all ends. So, yeah, be careful what you eating. Everybody can't cook. But Eric had my macaroni and cheese. He took a whole pan of it home. So, I know he know I can cook. He asked me, he said, well, how long do you put it in the oven? See, I'm gonna have to take his black card for that, because you don't ask how long you put it in the oven. And I said, until it's done. What do you mean? Until it's warmed up. He wanted some macaroni, he wanted to take it home. And then he asked me later, he called, he said, well, how long should I put it in the oven? I'm like, what? I can't tell you, 45 minutes to an hour. No, that's not the way that works. You put it in the oven, you warm it up until it is warm. Period. I mean, yeah, what? The only reason why I suggest that you watch it is because I really, really hate it when people put macaroni and cheese in the oven and it come out crusty. No, we don't want that. We want that gooey, ooey all the way through. That's what I do. So I was trying to help him make sure he made it that way. When he warmed it up, instead of that crunchy kind of topping, like, that's not what I did. That's not what I did, Eric. Oh, well, if you can't cook, should have stayed out the kitchen. Because, yeah, but, you're not going to learn if you stay out of the kitchen. Just watch somebody that know what they're doing. Don't watch these TikTok videos and people putting things together, and it's clear they don't know what they're doing. What did you say? Hey, sis. Oh, I appreciate it. I know you cooked for the holidays. I know you know how to cook. Now I eat this nasty. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. You almost made me slip up, Eric. You are so bad. What is this craft? Stop it. I don't know, but I have some white people in my family that can burn. I don't know if I could say her whole name, but Connie, she did some stuff now. She's older, and she come from, that real soul food cooking when they developed soul food cooking in America. That's where she came from. See, it's not been that long. It's not been that long. But yeah, she can cook like who cooked this? Where's the cook? Gotta tell the cook. Man, it came out. Little white-haired old lady that's white, and she's the one that cooked the food. Like, can I get seconds, please? My goodness, that was good. Don't just give me seconds, but give me something to go, because I got to eat tomorrow. I know I'm not the only one that saves food for tomorrow so I can eat it tomorrow too. Because you can't eat all that food at once. Everybody didn't get fat because they sitting there overeating all at one time. Some people get fat because they do not have time to eat. I am one of those. I don't have time to eat. So when I get a chance to eat, by the time that time comes, I'm all bloated from the last time I ever put food in my body. So it's like, oh Lord, I don't even know if I can eat, but I'm hungry. But my mom said I have to stop missing meals. I gotta stop missing meals. I'm too old for that. I understand. So I wanted to talk about the global formal organizational language, because a lot of times people are unaware that the language that they're using is not necessarily the language that's a formal logic, and it really sidesteps formal logic. Formal logic is the basic understanding of what you're saying and what I heard you say. So when you hear somebody say, I didn't say that, but they're saying that you said it, that was their form of logic that kicked in. Sometimes it's just good. Yeah, sometimes food is good to save if it tastes good. If it don't, it ain't gonna help saving it. You might as well throw it out. I'm just saying, throw it on out. But anyway, when you are using, a lot of people have concerns because this is the time of the year where organizations are like, oh, did we make the amount of money that we need to make? Let's have these Black Friday sales. And then over time, as you have seen, the Black Friday sales don't even really sell anything. They're not really putting anything on sale anymore because they know that people have gotten wise to the fact that they're going to save their money up for these particular sales. That's interesting because the same sentence can be deciphered multiple ways. Yes, that is true. And a lot of times, a part of the confusion comes from misinterpretations. Misinterpretations can be derived from cultural differences, environmental differences, and the political era we're in. For example, some people can say, okay, I'm just come out and tell you. And everybody's braced up saying, oh, you're getting ready to come out of the closet. Oh, you're getting ready to drop a bomb. Oh, you're getting ready to say something, because they're basing it on the idea of what's happening in the current political era, the current events that's happening. And because now with the internet, a lot of times this understanding is a global understanding. So people have now noticed that the same sentences can be interpreted different ways, and they should give a pause to let the person speak as opposed to try to decipher code and interpret what they're going to say before they say it. That is the most annoying thing that keeps happening, where people are always saying, oh, I know what you're getting ready to say. I do it sometimes too, so I can't be mad, too mad about it, but I am. Oh, I know what you're getting ready to say. And it's never even close to what you were getting ready to say. Just take a pause, because if we look at it, everybody has their different perspectives, and you can interpret it the way you want to. But if you do, have the courtesy, have the decency to ask somebody that said something, is this what you mean? Give them the opportunity to say, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. People not scared of you. I'm just saying. From the river to the sea is a good example. Yeah, it is. But, it's like this. Because cancel culture is so strong, people are like really scared to be misinterpreted. And I have to agree with that, because it's like once you are said to be misinterpreted, people just go off on the hinges. They don't even want to hear anything else. They don't want to give you opportunity to explain or elaborate on what it was you said or meant or anything. They just cancel you. And from then on, it's like nothing that you do can turn around the concept of you need to be canceled. But it's so many times where we're like, oh, let's cancel them. And that's why I like to use historical examples, like when schools thought that Einstein was too stupid for school. And it's like, oh, cancel him, get him out of school. It's like later, not very much later, we're naming a whole concept, a foundational level of understanding based off of his name. But at first, you canceled him. You didn't want him in school. It's like, he's too stupid for school. Now, everybody wants to be his level of stupid. If you want to, continue on that line of thinking that he's stupid, everybody want to be that level of stupid. So it's like, did we raise the standard, or did we lower the standard? Or, we hold, it's a whole category, and it's called Einstein. It's like, what? So I use that as an example because in the process of the problem, people thought that, he's canceled. There's no other hope for him. But the global formal language, the global formal organizational language saw to it that they could not afford to silence that voice, to cancel that voice, to consider that voice to be mute, because it contributed so much to society that it advanced the various fields and organizations across the globe, and it's still relevant today. um, I say that because I've over the years of being off social media, I had to get off social media 2018 because I had to focus a bit more on my research methods and my research. So in doing so, I discovered several things, and in that I discovered global formal organizational language has a gap in the communication, and a lot of it is because we are ignoring or conditioned to sidestep formal logic. Formal logic is innate in us. Like I said in the beginning of my show, it is a subjective and objective perspective, but is based on a mixture of this is my personality, this is my understanding, and then that's the subjective, and the objective is all the evidence that I have that you want to contrive to put together in order to condition me to uh, be manipulated to move or respond or be motivated to act, in a particular way. It's difficult to choose the right words to say, not so you don't trigger, cancel culture. So, Eric, it's amazing how language changes. It seems nowadays everyone is labeling. Yeah. And how does it? But you know what? And I don't, I'm not saying that I agree with it, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. For example, uh, Pastor Jones, what's his name? What's his name? What's Philanda's husband name? Eric, I'm going all out of the way. Jesse. God, I'm terrible with names. I saw an episode where this young man was ridiculing Jesse. And thank you. I don't know if you saw that episode. And the young man was an atheist. I have atheist friends and associates, and probably some loved ones are atheists. But anyway, his perspective of bad was not necessarily something that's a blanketed understanding. And because the young man's concept or understanding of the word bad, he ridiculed Jesse in his understanding of being a minister and proclaiming what is his concepts. And it seemed like there was a great deal of gap in communication and understanding what's bad. Bad is perspective based. And if we read the Bible, we see that we see as much as is there. It's stated, God will turn everything for your good. It's not necessarily stating that some things are bad. It is just stating exactly what it said. Your interpretation or your understanding is what it is. Boom, that's where I get it from, baby. I claim I chime in just a defense, and I'm not even a Christian, because it's not necessarily about, chiming in from, a Christian perspective, more so than it is a formal logic of understanding. And it goes against that. So it doesn't matter what category you coming in from, whether it's from the LGBTQ community, plus, or whether it's from heterosexual position, or, whatever the normatives are, it doesn't matter. The matter of the fact being that we have to understand that there's a global formal organizational language that applies across the board. However, there's also a formal logic that is understood, which crosses and transcends barriers. It crosses the barriers of all of those categories that I just named that divide us. Eric, I know you were at one point surprised that, you know, I love you regardless. I don't put these standards on anyone. And I didn't tell you what my history was. You didn't have to know, but you knew the love was genuine, despite anything and everything that I know. It's not about that. It is a large part of what we have come to understand if you read that Bible, or if you read any sort of uh, formal language of faith in God. You come to understand some things differently. These barriers where you're trying to say, oh, well, I can't love you with the love of God intended us to have, to love despite all. I can't do that because I don't agree with your lifestyle. I don't agree with your language. I don't understand your love language. I don't understand how to interact with you in a positive way, that you won't misinterpret everything I say, and everything that I do. Eventually, the people who are watching you, they're going to come to understand that, because this formal language is confusing, but the formal logic is well understood, that somebody who is genuine, you can't feel them the way you do if it's real. If it's not real, you can't feel them the way you do. But when it's real, you can feel it. And it's something so genuine, so unique. It's something that you have never touched before. And I only most recently felt that, most recently, where I understood why. Now I understand hugs. Do not hug me, please. Still don't hug me. I think I appreciate it. But yeah, now I understand. And my sister Jackie right there helped me to understand that. But I'm still on the fence. Don't hug me. That's all I'm saying. But she can. She can. The Bible says, with loving kindness have I. Yes. And you can't fake loving kindness. That is something that's just innate in you. And it just resonates from you like body odor, like your bad breath. It just resonates from you. And it's nothing you can do to control that, even if somebody else is trying to paint a different picture. I'm commanded to love no matter what. And it shows. It definitely shows. You're awesome. Oh, wait a minute. What did Jake say? I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real, because some people, they thinking and they like, oh, now she'll. No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't hug. Okay, so Eric, oh, the love is there and genuine from the Phillips. Yeah, and stop missing the S, sir. Don't miss the S. You know how Eddie is about that. A lot of these. Yeah, but I have a business partner. She's white. And she says things like she doesn't see it. I understand what you're saying, Eric, but she says things like she doesn't see it. And she also thinks that it's a lot of people that watch television, and they're, because the mainstream media wants to perpetuate a divide, she believes that it's, the mainstream media. But nowadays, people are not really getting their information from the mainstream news, the mainstream, you know, commercials, and because that's is geared for that as well. And the mainstream, what is it, promotional ads and things like that, just mainstream, which means that it's sponsored by someone in particular who is contriving a global formal organizational language. Okay, so this is how this is perpetuated. It's not created that way. It's created and is perpetuated from the start in schools. And that's why oftentimes I'm speaking about schools. I'm also speaking about schools because my dissertation thesis is written on schools, and it is globally trending. And what is the topic about? It's about exactly what I'm talking about in these episodes. So please make sure you go back and you watch these episodes, because it is a global formal organizational language that we have to understand is the focal point that we need to improve upon. Some people say change, but then they turn around and say, well, change is slow. From what I've seen, from my particular contribution to the global human resource management practices, I've seen that I see why some people say change is slow. There's formalities in processing this information, and a great deal of those formalities are in alignment with the people that they want to present these ideas and concepts and want to recognize for having presented these particular concepts in the, and then there is also the method in which it was perpetuated or even generated in order to be perpetuated. That is why it is one of the things that I'm going to do is show that you don't have to go to Harvard. You don't have to attend Harvard. Harvard is a great institution. However, they have limited room. All the upper echelon schools have a limited amount of room, and they are unrelenting in the price. So, if you go to school, you're going to have to take out some student loans. You take out some student loans, you're going to be in debt. And the debt is going to be favor based upon how you get out of the debt. So you have to have favor of man to retain a particular level of employment that's going to help you get out of that debt that you are in, which you were compelled to do because, hey, if I want to change the world, I got to go to school. If I want to, go to school, I have to have the money. And then it's a whole snowball of problems that you have that you didn't, really want. But it's the process. It is the set of broken systems process, which is global. It is not particular to a location or a person or a culture or a class. It is something that has transcended all of those labels, all of those organizational titles and business models and business practices. It has transcended all of that. And I'm going to continually, gradually explain and show how that is so. And soon you will be able to purchase the book. Some people can pre-order the manuscript to show those things, but it is a set of books that will be out, and it's going to be so affordable so everyone can afford it. So you can see, and it's going to have the evidence of how I came up with that information before it ever began to trend globally. When we speak of global language, I think of ethics. Does ethics tie into? Well, it's one of the barriers. Yeah, because remember when Hitler, when everyone was conducting all those research studies in Hitler's name, and it was so unethical. That's when they started to consider ethics. But those studies were permitted, and it wasn't one man who dictated these things, because there's no possible way that one person can say, well, you go chop up some people, and if you don't do it, I'm going to come kill you. We can kill you before you ever come to us. As many of us as one of you. So that's when they all decided, oh, you know what? We can't keep saying that it was just this one person. So we have to say that it's everybody who participated in these heinous acts. And then they had to put a label on those heinous acts. They said ethical. It's unethical. But a lot of people say it was warranted. It was warranted because the advancement was necessary, and this was the only method of advancement. So that's when they started to put these stipulations in place where it's more ethical than it's ever been before. And I remember stating to a couple of research people, I stated to those doctors that they should probably take advantage of the fact that this pandemic has permitted some opportunities that would normally be considered unethical. And because the economic environment everything, all the environments actually, because the pandemic wasn't selective and according to your particular standard. Because everything that's in place right now, we can conduct some studies of research to find out a lot of the things that we only found out when Hitler was being blamed for everything that was going unethical, advancing the world, medical field, all kinds of fields. But we can now see that the pandemic has a lot of the unethical problems. You can't, for example, you can't purposely cause somebody to have lack of oxygen. You can't cause someone to have um, permanent side effects. There's a lot of people who have long COVID. That's a permanent side effect to having the ailment. So you want to see what the long-term effects are. So you want to conduct studies on long-term effects. And you're like, well, can we do that? No, it's not ethical. We didn't do it. So we did not inflict the person. So now it is ethical to observe and watch. That's why a lot of people, you got to pray, because when you're trying to get healthy and you're trying to get help, you got to make sure that that formal logic of yours is in alignment with their formal language and their formal practices. I'm just saying, God fills the gaps, and he doesn't have favor of him, her, he, she, they. He will help you. Just call him. Just as his anger and fear, universal language is everyone communicates with. Find yourself around people who reciprocate your language. So, yeah, that's a good point. You will find people that will reciprocate a give and take of your language. So, but the previous episodes, I'm trying to lead you to an understanding. And that understanding, you have to get the bits and pieces of it, because remember, this YouTube, this free. I got bills, I have needs. So we're going to have to put it in a situation where you can help support in a financial way. Teddy can put the banner up here so you can see how to support this YouTube opportunity for you to get the foundation of understandings of why you would like to purchase books that I've written, or manuscripts, or any kind of articles that I've written, why you would like to research my name, why you would like to see what works I have done that are contributing to society in a positive manner. And that's why I said some people have this misunderstanding of what's bad and what's good. And a lot of times what's bad may not be bad for the reasons you think it is. It may be bad because, for example, homeschooling was considered bad. So they had to get a brick and mortar school where everybody was encouraged and then after a while compelled to attend this brick and mortar school because it was bad. It wasn't the matter of the fact that it was bad per se, but it was the matter of the fact that those homeschool people had different levels of information. So the information asymmetry was not on the same level as everybody of that age category, everybody of that particular economic environment, social environment, religious faith, etc. So you see, it transcended all of that. And that was considered bad. That was considered bad because you can't divide classes. You can't keep people underfoot. You can't predict who's going to make it and who don't. You can't say things like, oh, you too stupid for school, get out. That just wouldn't happen. Teddy put that banner up. He's I know. So if you want to be able to help contribute, this is the time for giving. This is the season for giving. And I would love to see an influx of, at the very least, $50,000 in donations so that we can keep this broadcast going and we can get more involved. If you are donating at least $50,000 in total, and we will broadcast your name. We will definitely give you a shout out of your contributions. If you are to contribute at least that amount, then I will get more in detail as to what I'm really talking about that can be a little bit more specific to help you to understand what you're going to read in these books, manuscripts, and articles with my name on it. Tina Phillips. Keep watching, keep watching. And go back, look at some stuff that I've written. Go back through a lot of the different things. Online school is helpful in the matter of the fact that anything you put out there online and in global internet is global. You're going to find it. And I know there's a whole lot of people out there like Eric who are tech savvy and can find it. It's a lot. And I've been government affiliated for quite some time. So it's out there. I'm trying to get this degree. I can't support right now. It doesn't matter. Anything you do will go towards that effort, but I cannot do it unless I see that financial support there. If I don't see the financial investment there, then there's no interest there. And if there's no interest there, then you might want to just buy the book. Either way, this is what they say in business. If you're not monetarily invested in something, you're not interested in it. And that's understandable. But there are some people in the upper echelon who are watching these videos and they would like to know, why am I restrained from saying anything? Because you're not monetarily invested. Hit what is it? Cash App? Hit the Cash App, hit the Zelle. I have put the Zelle out there one time before. You can also go on a Adroit Living website and you can see there. There's many ways you can inbox. There's many ways you can reach me in order to show that you are financially interested in hearing more in this format. If you are only interested in hearing personally and how it personally affects you and improves you, then you're going to have to continue to wait, because there's now a waiting list. I've been so backed up with different people and different clients. I like to see these things through to the end. I don't like to leave my clients hanging. So if you would like to have your own personal information, then I can do that, but there's a waiting list. So again, you're still gonna have to show interest here before I can do that. Do you? Of course I do. Of course I do. See, now you showing you haven't been watching. Now you showing you haven't been watching. Of course I do. Matter of fact, Jesse has been on, and Philanda. And Jackie Haynes have been on. I haven't had much time. I do try to come on, but a lot of times I cannot. And Pastor Larry Sarton, I have not been able to contact people in a length of time that's respectable of their time and my time, because I've been busy, and I don't like to drop last minute. Hey, can you come through? That's kind of rude. So I've been trying, and there's some people, there's a list of people who are waiting to come onto the show. There's people who have asked, and I just have not had the time. But I am going to do it. The time is coming up. I've taken a break because apparently I got to deal with some things, and I need to deal with those things without distraction. I like to give all of my attention. I know who you saying. I know who you saying. Okay. Just keep watching, and when you see me on, perhaps I'll shoot you a link. But that way I don't feel bad about being so abrupt. And then I did have another guest on, one of my very, very long time friends, like a brother to me. And we talk barbershop talk. So go back and watch those videos, because yeah, and he's from Chicago. So we have a whole different language in Chicago, but the formal logic is still there and very much understood. But bringing this topic up, I'm trying to help to unite the voices from different aspects of culture, business organizations, the different markets. There's different ways that you're coming from, and everybody is saying the same thing. There's a communication process of information asymmetry where we're not necessarily getting a holistic understanding before we're moving on, and we're moving on um, in a way that isn't necessarily producing the financial desired uh, progress that we would like to see, because everyone is, at the bottom line, we all want to see our wealth grow. And I would like to do it on a much broader spectrum than that which I've already successfully accomplished. Those are great achievements. However, I would never want to belittle those achievements. Those achievements are significant to me. And I don't share them. I don't even share my feelings. So clearly I'm not going to share that. That's business. You don't go around just broadcasting that sort of thing. But just like you don't go around, telling the world, oh, I got gas. Look at all this Thanksgiving food. Look at my stomach all big and bloated. You just got to look. You got to say, hey, I see your stomach. I'm going to run the other way. You going what way? I'm going to go the other way. Okay, thank you. That's it. That's a part of that formal logic. You have to be able to watch all the signs. You can't just depend on people telling you. They don't necessarily have the voice to communicate. They don't necessarily have the courage to say things, because again, cancel culture is strong. People aren't just going to just start blabbing out and saying different things. You have to make sure that you understand everything that you're seeing. That's one of the reasons why I do these YouTube episodes. I understand it's just, a teaser, but it's a teaser to something greater, because that I've written in these dissertations that's globally trending. Hey, Pastor Sarton, I appreciate you coming. The stuff that I've written in this dissertation is globally trending, and it's changing the world incrementally, but I would like it to go much faster. I would like it to reach the nooks and crannies right now. Just as fast as the internet moves, I want it just as fast as these viral videos go viral. I believe that the information that is in those in those works that I've written should go around just as fast. But I'm limited, so you all have to show a financial interest. And in this time of giving, if I see that there's a donation that we have of $50,000 or more, I will go on and I will make these statements a lot more clear, so that you can understand what you're investing in, especially when you see those books, articles, and other things that I've written. You'll be able to see and understand that this is going somewhere towards a generational wealth that everyone can tap into. It is not exclusive. I love the blue rocks at the bottom of the fish tank, but God's culture, it's getting out of hand. Be careful on my screen. Yeah, thank you for the comments on the rocks. I tried to make it different. I had the boys to contribute, and that's the colors they wanted to see. These episodes are awesome and have fun a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback. I really do. I also appreciate everybody's comments when they come on and interact. And I'm telling you what's holding me back. So if you help me, I'm going to help you. And that way, when you see the books, you don't have to lean to your own understanding. When you see the articles, you don't have to lean to your own understanding. If you've already seen these things, come on in the comments. Ask me questions. Ask me, is this what you meant? Is this how this is applicable to this? I will not lie. I will tell you the answer. Even if it's in the open, but I can't initiate that conversation because, again, my clients are, we have an understanding that you don't say anything and I'm not going to say anything. But if the question comes up here where someone who has been anonymously commenting and they want to ask a question, I'm going to answer the question, but it has nothing to do with anything that I have done with any client or any other writings out there. So I would like to put that out there real quick, just in case you want to refer back to this video. But anyway, A lot of the times with these global formal organizational languages, we're seeing how a lot of people are restrained, just like I'm restrained. And in order to get past that, this is the way. This is the way to get past that. This is the way to get towards us saying that change is slow. Change isn't slow. The formalities which are set in place to make sure that everything is in place so you don't have cancel culture coming at you, or you don't have lawsuits, or you don't have, particular problems. This is the formalities that's causing the problem, the process of change to be slower than what we desire for it to normally be. However, this is the way. I didn't create social media. I didn't create the internet. I'll do an episode. I would like to get Tony Briscoe. I'm gonna see if he has time tomorrow, um, and see if he can get on and we could talk about it a little bit, where I can show you who created the internet and how everybody thought, man, you some sci-fi dude. You talking surreal. This can't be real. This you saying some stuff. We just not getting accustomed to watching the picture tube. A lot of people make fun of how slow the government is, how slow the government is to implement any kind of improvements because they're afraid of change. Some people say it's not necessarily because they're afraid of change or they're against improvements or innovation methods and moving along with current events. It's not that. It's the problem that, when people constantly saying, oh, cancel culture, cancel culture. This is just another way that has already been said, cancel culture. This is not nothing new. This is something that's been said and perpetuated for a long time, which makes people apprehensive to saying anything because they don't want their financial status to be attacked. And so they stifle. They don't say what they should or could. Hey, Sister Smith. How you doing, Michelle? Hey, Mama Michelle. I appreciate you coming. I really I appreciate your comments. I miss you all's comments. This is the end of the episode, but yeah, picture two. They've called the TV. Now, watch the previous episode before this one. I showed you how they called the TV different names: the idiot tube, the idiot box, the boob tube, and all kinds of things. And it wasn't necessarily because they were afraid of change or improvement. It was because people they put information out, and some people just simply are not receptive to it, and they don't want to see it because they know it's a learning curve, and they don't want to be bothered with that learning curve. A lot of people get out of school early because they don't want to learn nothing, and they like, well, I'm just gonna go as far as high school. I'm gonna go so far as 8th grade. I'm gonna go so far as my first bachelor's degree, and I'm just gonna leave it there. Oh, it's okay. I appreciate it anyway. I know. I don't charge it to your heart. So this is the problem with this global formal organizational language that I believe we can get through a lot faster if we were to put it on social media and have it to go viral. Now, I'm going to put a couple of things out. It's going to be some shorts so we can get those to go out. Someone said, well, you don't have enough social media followers for us to be concerned about what you're saying. I tried to help them understand. Do not watch my followers. A lot of my followers are upper echelon. I did not tell them that, but I'm saying it here. A lot of my followers are upper echelons who do not want to be named, who do not want to be seen by the public or known. So with that being said, you must watch my influence, not my followers, because they don't want to talk to you. And they know that that's the reason why you want to track who they are. They do not want to be bothered with you. For me, Papa, we call it. So this is the thing. A lot of people don't even use social media because they don't want to be tracked. So clearly, they are not going to want everybody to know who my followers are. That's right. My followers have followers. Thank you, Pastor Larry Sarton. I didn't want to say it, but I'm so happy you all here to say it, because Pastor Larry Sarton is a phenomenal leader, and he does have a large following. And the messages that I help to prevent, from being misinterpreted, it's not just going from my mouth to YouTube and the ether. It's going from my heart to my social media followers, and then their followers after that. It has nothing to do with what you are thinking on a fundamental level, or that level in which you were conditioned to be boxed in to understand how you're going to block the message. And I told those people, you can't kill the message by killing the messenger. I am just one of the many. And as you well know, Pastor Sarton, the devil knew Jesus was coming, couldn't kill him before he got there and did what he set to accomplish. And many a times you've been in a situation where you almost lost your life. Didn't stop your message, and it's not going to stop it regardless, because again, some people are looking at the wrong things when they're trying to follow who your followers are and not your influence. But with that being said, I appreciate everyone for coming. I'm going to start coming on. So ring the bell. Ring the bell. It's going to be off peak hours at different times. So make sure you are ringing that bell so you will see when the videos come on. I'm going to dedicate a great deal of time to get this out there, while I am also working on some other things to push that out there as well, because I won't be blocked. And I see the blockage, and I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. I'm not necessarily the type to be tacky, but I'm going to call it out because it needs to be said. We're going to stop acting like we're behind closed doors and we can't track you digitally and see exactly what you're doing. And there's a whole lot of people in the church, because the church touches every community and business market, global market that you have out there. We're going to get to the truth, and we're going to see that, you can't stifle the messenger or the message. It's unless God say so, then you can. But no, I'm going to let it be known. And if I couldn't do it in the formal manner in which I was trying to do it, I'm going to do it a totally different way. It's a digital age now. It's a digital age. I don't have to stifle. I just got to go a different way. All right. I appreciate you all for coming. Please ring the bell. I'll be back. All right, Teddy, take us out.
Mental health is physical wealth.